If you've been around for a while, then you know how much I care about financial freedom for all. One thing that often gets in the way of that is debt. That's why I'm happy to announce that I've partnered with an amazing organization called Juno. Juno helps you get lower interest rates by using the power of group negotiation. It is a completely free resource that you can use to secure lower interest rates on new and existing student loans. Head to the link in the episode show notes to find out more. This is the Dreamers Podcast, episode 40 with Asia Abston. Today is October 19th, 2021.
That does not have to be a permanent state of things always have to be hard and this always has to be challenging. And of course, there's failure and losses and all these things, and it'll always be this uphill battle. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I want Black people to get away from, is that things will always be hard. And it's just not true. You can set up and systematize your life to where things are running automatically and passively.
Hello, world. Welcome to the Dreamers Podcast. I am Stephanie Anne-Lyse, also known as Anne-Lyse Wealth. I am a financial coach and an author. I self-published my first book, Dream of Legacy, a guide to help dreamers reach financial independence and build generational wealth. In this podcast, I'll have conversations with experts and thought leaders who dare to follow their dreams. You'll hear about their journey and their money stories. I hope it inspires you, dreamers out there, to live life on your own terms.
Come on, dreamers, let's change the world!
This podcast is brought to you by Dream of Legacy. Check out dreamoflegacy.com for resources to assist you on your journey to financial independence. Before we get into today's episode, please take a couple minutes to go into Apple Podcasts, if you're listening from an Apple device, to rate and review the podcast. If you appreciate the free resources that are provided in this podcast, then the best way to let me know is to do just that. Reviews help the podcast be more visible, and it helps other dreamers discover the podcast. So thank you. I appreciate you. And now let's get back to today's episode. Hello. Welcome to the Dreamers Podcast. I'm your host, Anne-Lyse Wealth. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. My guest today is Asia Abston. She is the founder of the Lux Life Academy and a dropshipping expert. Asia's platform is all about helping new entrepreneurs work smarter, not harder. Her mission is to guide thousands of minority millennials to financial freedom through digital entrepreneurship. Today, Asia is going to tell us all about how she built a six-figure dropshipping business and how it can be used as a way to build passive income for yourself. All right, here's Asia Abston. Asia Abston, welcome to the Dreamers Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about you and what you do?
Oh boy, who am I and what do I do? Well, first of all, I'm a podcaster. So it's odd to be on this side of the interview, but my name is Asia Abston. I am a drop shipping coach. I am an Instagram marketer. I am the chief enjoyment officer. And my goal in life is to teach people how to work smarter instead of harder. Like, we can all be financially free and we can do it with a cocktail in our hands.
Love it. So tell us a little bit about where you grew up. I'm always curious to find out more about my guest's kind of money story too. So if you can share an early money memory.
Sure. I am from the south side of Chicago. Chicago is the best city in the world. It's just entirely too cold. And I start that just to say that I'm from a blue collar background. My mom was a cop. My dad was a felon. So that should tell you everything you need to know about my background. And as far as money goes, being from a single parent home, sacrifices had to be made. And, Friday was a long way away. Payday was a long way away when you have two kids by yourself. So I got taught that money is fantastic. for those people that have it. And we're not the people that have it. And we've never been the people that have it. And we may never be the people that have it, that blue collar was life. And that's what it really was. And you go to college and you get a good job, and then you might be able to live on easy street late in life. But it was never introduced to me that money could be easy and money that I deserved it and that Black people had it. So that's how my money journey started.
So how did you, because obviously now, you're all about helping others become financially free. So at what point did you switch that mindset? When did you start thinking that it was possible for you?
So when I was 18, I moved to Miami. So I go from being in Chicago in, a regular lower middle class neighborhood, watching everybody I knew go to work every single day, watching my friends in high school have to have jobs because they had to contribute to their homes, to moving to Miami, which is a completely different ballgame. Like the way that people have money here is totally different. Not only just the amount of money, because there are definitely rich people in Chicago, don't get me wrong, but Miami money is out loud. It's in your face. It is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and yachts. And it is multicultural money. So it's money from rich people that are Russian, that are Chinese, that are Haitian, that are English, that are African. So it was an eye-opening experience. It was just like, I didn't even know that this was a thing. I didn't know that there were Black people who owned yachts and penthouses and condos and beachfront property. It was an awakening. It was literally an eye-opening experience because I had never seen that, didn't know it existed. So once I understood that this was a thing and these people were Black like me and weren't different than me and they bled the same blood as me, it was just, a light bulb moment went off for me. And I was like, well, if they can do it, I can do it too.
It's very interesting what you said, because I grew up in Cameroon and France. I live in Atlanta now. And Atlanta is the first city that I visited in the US that made me go like, oh, okay, Black people really have money here.
Right, exactly.
But I was looking at your bio earlier, and you talk about your mission to guide thousands of minority millennials to financial freedom through digital entrepreneurship. So why do you think we should consider digital entrepreneurship?
And I know I get in trouble a lot because I speak so absolutely about things and I really don't see an alternative to it. And I mean it. I really do mean it. And the reason is, like, our parents and our grandparents, our ancestors, all they knew was hard work. All they knew was labor because they didn't have a choice. That's how America works. And you have to work hard and you have to, partake in back-breaking labor, and you have to work sun up to sundown in general, let alone if you want more for yourself and more for your family, then hard work equals success. And I discovered that that's false. It's just not true. The people with the most money work the least. Think about your own job and your own life at home. Your boss does the least amount of work. It's those people beneath him or her who are the ones who are the first in the office and the last to leave and working on the weekends. And I don't have time for all of that. So once I just uncovered the scam of, hard work, and that was perpetuated by the wealthy as a way to control those underneath them, I just said, no, ma'am, that's not going to work for me. So when I look at a business venture or an idea, I genuinely try to figure out what is the easiest way I can get this done? What is the path of least resistance? How can I make the absolute most amount of money and the largest impact by doing the least amount of gritty, hard labor? So digital entrepreneurship is the wave. It will always be the wave for me. I am a drop shipper. That is my number one favorite business in life because I can run a full throttle 6 or 7 figure e-commerce business from my iPhone anywhere on the planet at any time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I don't know what's better than passive income. I don't know what's better than waking up to more money than you went to sleep with. And then social media marketing is the other thing I teach through Instagram. I make tens of thousands of dollars every single month from Instagram, not because I'm a genius or rocket science or cool or have a marketing degree or anything, just because I'm leveraging the power of social media. So digital entrepreneurship is it's the love of my life.
So I'm going to challenge you on this a little bit.
Please.
So we're talking about our bosses in general working less than, their employees. And I totally agree with that. But to get in that seat, right, you do have to put in the work up front.
100%.
Okay. Because I don't want listeners listening to this
No,
thinking,
no. 100%. And I'm glad that you are allowing me to clear that up. 100%. In the beginning, it's time to get in the trenches. It is time to glue yourself to your computer. I mean, I can sit at my computer for 14 hours. Don't get me wrong. Glue yourself to the desk, glue yourself to the library, glue yourself to those courses and those mentorships and those programs. 1,000,000% undoubtedly, you need to be in the trenches in the beginning stages of your business. What I'm saying, though, is you don't have to stay there. That does not have to be a permanent state of things always have to be hard and this always has to be challenging. And of course, there's failure and losses and all these things, and it'll always be this uphill battle. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I want Black people to get away from, is that things will always be hard. And it's just not true. You can set up and systematize your life to where things are running automatically and passively, but passive money comes after active labor. So we got to do the active first, and then we can get to passive and automated systems.
I love it. You know, who wouldn't want to make passive income, right?
That's all I'm saying, is who doesn't want it? Because that's crazy.
So you talked earlier about drop shipping. So for any of the listeners that might not be familiar with drop shipping, can you maybe start by explaining what it is?
Sure. So, okay, guys, drop shipping, number one. If you have ever shopped on Amazon, have you ever bought from Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Too much.
Perfect. Same. Then you have bought from a dropshipping store. Amazon is the largest store on planet Earth. It is a giant dropshipping store. You know how you order maybe 5 things from Amazon and they come in 3 different packages on 3 different days? It's because it's a giant dropshipping store. So guys, dropshipping is an e-commerce method where a supplier, which is the person, the manufacturer, supplier, manufacturer, and a customer needs somebody in the middle to help them out. That middleman is me. So an order gets placed to my store and I order that item from my supplier. The supplier ships that item to the customer. So I'm just the conduit. I am the middleman. I am the person in between the customer and the manufacturer. The manufacturer does not sell to customers, so there's no other way for that person to get it. They have to come through me. So it's an e-commerce method where me, the middleman, I never hold inventory. I never package it. I never ship it. I never go to the post office. I don't do any of that. It's the best thing in the world. It really is. And you guys have shopped with dropshipping stores before hundreds of times. You just didn't know it.
So do you manage your inventory?
Nope, sure don't. Nobody's got time for that. No. That is the supplier's job. They manage inventory.
Obviously, everybody knows about Amazon and they sell everything.
Everything.
So you're saying that you can have any type of product through drop shipping?
Well, okay, to clarify, nothing perishable. So we're not selling like food or nothing that spoils, because the shipping times are going to be longer. So nothing that spoils. I advertise to my students, we don't want to sell anything glass or super, super fragile, because remember, we're not packaging our orders. I don't package and ship my own orders. My manufacturer and supplier is doing that. So I'm not in charge of that. So I don't want to ship anything fragile, anything delicate, anything perishable. But short of that, from clothing to refrigerators to caskets, you can drop ship. Anything that can be shipped through an e-commerce store can be drop shipped.
When I think of drop shipping, I'm thinking t-shirts, mugs, things like that.
I want to teach people how to use products that they can use, make the highest profit margins. So I want to talk about high ticket items. I want to talk about furniture. I want to talk about kitchen supplies. I want to talk about office supplies. I want to talk about desks and lamps and lighting and things where you can make the most amount of money. I do not teach people to drop ship clothes. I have done it. It's an epic failure. You guys want to stay away from things that people can run to, the local H&M to get. Do not drop ship clothes.
What do you drop ship?
I am in the baby business, baby products. No, I do not have a baby, just so you know, because people get stuck on things that they feel like they have to know the product, use the product every single day in order to sell it. It's not true, guys. I don't have a kid. The reason I am in the drop shipping business for children's items is because people have babies every single day. And they are going to have babies every single day until the end of time. And they are going to spoil those babies. So when you need baby supplies, you're going to have to buy them from somebody, and you should be buying them from me.
So you make dropshipping sound very interesting. What was
so. I think
what
so.
was your startup investment?
Under $500 because I was poor at the time. I was broke. So I didn't have a lot of money. It had to be under $500. And that's still true to today, because here's the thing. In traditional retail, you have to order thousands of dollars of inventory in order to sell it, right? In dropshipping, there's no inventory to order because your supplier and your manufacturer hold the inventory for you. You are not pre-ordering it. What I teach my students to do is order your samples. So literally you're ordering one of each item so that you can check the quality, so you can confirm the packaging, so you can take your own photos, so you can make sure that this item is reputable and legit. So you're ordering one, you're not ordering thousands. So it's an extremely low cost business to get into.
So let's say I'm listening and I'm like very intrigued by this whole thing. How does it work? I'm still trying to figure out, like, logistics wise, how does it work?
Okay. The reason you're thinking that is because you're making it overcomplicated. And I promise you, it is as easy as it sounds. So you place an order with me. I place an order to my supplier. My supplier ships that order to you. And the beauty of it is there are systems through Shopify, the biggest platform in the game. Shopify has systems that automate this entire thing for you. So you can set up your website and the plugs and the back end of your website to automatically be connected to your manufacturer, so that the second that Anne-Lyse sends an order to my store, it is instantaneously sent to the supplier, and the supplier ships it to you. Packaging and shipping, you're not stacking things up, underneath your kitchen table. You're not going to USPS every single day and buying scales and stickers. And people love e-commerce. I love e-commerce. And they order all this inventory and they have no idea how to sell it. And then they wind up trapped and stuck with inventory that they can't move. And God forbid they buy something seasonal, because you are really done, or something trendy. You are really done. You've invested thousands of dollars into this product that you don't have any way to move. And not only that, business is 98% marketing. It is not about having the best product. It is about having the best marketing. And dropshipping allows you to test the market, test your ability to be a marketer, and sell products without that major investment to get started.
And so where do you sell those products? Do you use social media to get the word out? How do you advertise?
Social media and paid advertising. I love paid ads, Facebook, Google, YouTube, paid ads all day. In my coaching business, I'm all social media marketing. And in my dropshipping business, I am all about the paid ads, because that's how you automate it. That's how you become passive. You figure out what ads work, and then you continue to scale those.
So for any of the dreamers that are listening and they're interested in learning more about dropshipping, how do you suggest they get started? Can you maybe break it down into a few steps they can take to get the ball rolling?
Absolutely. Okay, so number one, pick a niche. Step one, pick a niche, because the riches are in the niches. We are never, never, never opening a general store. You do not want to compete with the Walmart and the Amazons. You cannot compete. You can't sell waist trainers and kitchen knives and lashes and bicycles in the same store. We're not doing that. Because often in dropshipping, because you're not buying all this inventory beforehand, people think the more items I put in my store, the more chances I have to make money. Absolutely not. Stay away from that. Pick a niche. Number two, Shopify, Shopify, Shopify. Do not build a store in e-commerce on any other platform other than Shopify. Not WooCommerce, not WordPress, not Big Cartel, not Squarespace, not GoDaddy. I don't care who they are or what they told you. They lied. If it's not on Shopify, respectfully, it's wrong. So build your store on Shopify. Get your AliExpress and Overload together, and that's how you back in your store so that everything happens automatically. Your third step, you need to find a supplier. It is imperative that you find a reputable supplier that you can trust, that can deliver your products on time in the condition that you dictate for your business. Then you want to upload all your products and design your store. Shopify has millions of tutorials on this. This is not rocket science. Even if you don't know how to do it, you can outsource these things on Upwork, outsource them on Fiverr. It's not hard and it's not expensive. And then your last and most important step is market, 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 market. You should be spending 50% of your time as a dropshipper on marketing. Nothing is more important than the marketing, because I see so many people build these incredible, beautiful websites, take the world's best photos, have all the pretty colors. Nobody knows your store exists. What are we doing all of this for? You have no customers because there's no brand awareness.
You said Shopify podcaster here.
I know, right?
So why Shopify?
Why iPhone?
That's the answer.
Right. Why iPhone? Because it's the best. Is this a conversation? Why a Lamborghini? Why is water wet? Because it just is. It's the best. Bottom line, it's designed for you to make money. Their only job on this planet is to teach you how to have the tools that you need to run a successful e-commerce business. They have got, I wish these people were paying me, because honest to God, it is just, and then the cost, like Shopify is $29 a month. You can run. Let me be more clear. People do run billion-dollar e-commerce brands on $29 Shopify plans, like Fenty Beauty, Kylie Cosmetics, all of these great billion-dollar multi-platinum brands, Yeezy, The Gap, all of these brands. Yes, thank you. They didn't build their own from scratch platforms. They use Shopify because they are the best in the game.
Very interesting. So let's talk about some of the mistakes that you made when it comes to dropshipping in the beginning, right? Because here we want to help our listeners make more money and save. So maybe if you can share some of the mistakes that you made to avoid or to prevent them from wasting money or to help them earn more, that would be great.
Mistake number one, I tried to sell clothes. Huge, massive mistake. Failure. Failure number two, I would say, is that I did not understand that it takes multiple tries of different types of products before you find the one that fits. You may build an entire store, build out a product, do all this marketing, and it's not a hit. And it's not a hit for a myriad of different reasons, but it's not a hit, and it's not a hit for you because you are the business owner. It's your passion, your enthusiasm, and your know-how that's going into this brand. And it's okay for your first product to be a failure, your third, fourth, or fifth product to be a failure. It might take you 7 tries of 7 different product options before you find a hit. So I didn't understand that. And at first I thought that, I tried one and I couldn't sell it. So that means that I'm not great at this. No, ma'am. Now, years later in the game and after coaching thousands of students, I see it might take 3 to 5 products before you find that hit. But when you find that hit, it's so worth it. So those are definitely 2 of the biggest mistakes I made in dropshipping.
So obviously you are into this dropshipping thing. Can you talk to us about how it has helped you on your wealth building journey?
It is the wealth building journey. And I say that because even though I make more money in my coaching business, my dropshipping business allowed me to be safe through the pandemic when my former career shut down completely. My dropshipping business, more than anything, gives me freedom. And you learn as you get older and you learn as you make more money that it's really irrelevant if you don't have time. If you are a slave to the thing that you're doing, if you have to miss the baby's events and you have to miss, the things with your spouse and the things with your family because you're making money, but you have absolutely no time, it is not worth it to me. Time is the most important resource we have on this planet. Time is not money. Time is time. Money could never compare to time. So you realize that things that give you freedom, things that allow you to buy time are the most important in the world. So for me, dropshipping gave me everything in wealth building because it allowed me to be making enough passive income where now I've got time to actually focus on other things I want to do and take off with my podcast and take off with my coaching business and launch the Lux Life Academy and all these other things. So dropshipping was the key to everything for me. Absolutely everything kicked off from dropshipping.
So you mentioned that you had the Lux Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do there?
Yes, the Lux Life Academy is really brand new. I just launched it earlier this year because I was dropshipping for so long. I was talking about it on the podcast for so long. And in the pandemic, people started asking me more about it and saying like, oh, wow, like this is what's floating you. Like, this is why you're okay. Like, so many people are losing their jobs and they're getting kicked out of their homes and they're financially ruined because they only have one source of income. And you're telling me that there's this other thing I could do to create another source of income for myself. And I could do it from home while the entire world is shut down. And I was like, hello, I've been telling y'all this for years. I don't know why you're just now listening. So many people kept asking me the same questions. So I put a program together to teach people digitally how to dropship. And that's how the Lux Life Academy was born. And in that, I got so many students from that right away, so unexpectedly. And it was all coming from social media. So, and all Instagram only. So people were like, how are you making this much money on Instagram? I said, it's super easy. It's really not that hard. So then I launched an Instagram class and now I've got about 2,000 students in the past 9 months and it's rocking and rolling and I really do love it.
So how are you investing some of your earnings to create more wealth for yourself?
I absolutely suck at it. I am team robo investor because I don't know enough, but I know I need to be doing something. I am not great at all. What I am great at is automation. So if you tell me I can set this up one time and this will make me compound interest and money for the rest of my life, I am all in.
So I like to end the interview with a round of rapid fire questions.
Okay, I'm ready. Sips of water. I'm ready. Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me about a book that changed your perspective on life?
Oh, 100% Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. I know it's a classic, but there's another one called Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice that I absolutely loved. I mean, Think and Grow Rich changed me, honey. Just understanding the power of the mind, understanding that every single thing that happens to you, good, bad, or indifferent, you brought into your own experience. I read that book about 4 years ago, and to say that it changed my life is a massive, massive understatement. Can I also offer a person?
Absolutely. Sure.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. So my mentor, my icon, my hero, his name is Rev Ike. You guys can find him on YouTube. If you want to get your life gathered, if you want to have no edges left on your forehead, listen to Reverend Ike. He is dead and gone, but he was a pastor from the 70s. And his entire thing was teaching Black people to have exorbitant amounts of money because they deserved it. And he was telling Black people this in the 60s and 70s in South Carolina.
What's one thing about money you wish you could tell your younger self?
Ooh, that it is unacceptable to make it and spend it just because you can. Just because you can. Remember, I bartended for a decade. So I would make, at 19 years old, I was making $500 in a night. And I would go spend it the next day just because I could, because it was burning a hole in my pocket. And I didn't understand that I was supposed to be squirreling this money, away for a later date. I didn't understand what compound interest was. I didn't understand how many millions of dollars literally that I've left on the table in life because from 19 on, I was making all this money and just blowing it and having nothing to show for it. So compound interest is really the miracle that they say it is, and start early.
What's the best investment in yourself you've made so far?
Ooh, I would say breaking up with YouTube.
Expand on that. I know it's rapid fire, but...
Well, so many people are DIYers. And it's a DIY disaster because they want to do everything from YouTube and they're unwilling to invest in their own education and unwilling to spend the money. And you get what you pay for. And that's the bottom line. Nothing wrong with YouTube. God bless it. But when you want to get to the nitty gritty and you want information for real and you need things that are going to 10x your life and your experience, you got to pay for that. Bottom line. Like, you're buying time, you're buying expertise. And if somebody can get you to where you need to go 10 times faster, and all you got to do for them is give them a few peanuts, if they're going to 10x your life and your experience and your financial freedom, you need to be giving them that money today.
Filling the blanks in 3 words or less. Money to me is
power, joy, freedom.
What do you want your legacy to be?
That I helped all the Black girls get rich.
Love it. Well, Asia, it was a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be on this side of the microphone for once.
So can you tell the listeners where they can find you?
Absolutely. Again, guys, my name is Asia Abston. I am at Get Rich or Get Drunk Trying on every platform. And my school is the luxlifeacademy.com. Please connect with me because I love to make money every day of the week and with ease and a margarita. So join me if that's your vibe.
Love it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Asia Abston. I hope you enjoy learning about how you can build wealth through dropshipping. Coming up on the podcast, we have the founder of Financial Freedom Countdown, an immigrant who turned $1,000 into over $2 million in 12 years, who goes by his first name only, John. We also have Jackie Koski, a single mom who, in her mid to late 30s, while she was getting her divorce, realized that she only had $20,000 in her retirement account. She became more aggressive in her investment, and at 47 years old, she reached financial independence and was able to retire at 49. We also have coming up Patrice Washington and many more awesome guests. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Dreamers podcast. You can find the episode show notes and all of the links mentioned at dreamoflegacy.com. If you liked today's episode, here's what you can do to support me and help more dreamers discover the podcast. Follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate and review the podcast to help the podcast gain more visibility. Share the podcast with your family, friends, and coworkers. And if you really enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to tag me at thedreamers.podcast on Instagram and let me know what you liked about today's episode. All right, dreamers, that's it for today. I will see you back here next week for another episode of the Dreamers podcast.
Okay, dreamers, time to build this legacy.
This podcast is for general information purposes only. It is not intended to provide any tax, legal, financial planning, insurance, accounting, investment, or any other kind of professional advice or services. Please consult with an appropriate tax, financial, or legal professional to receive appropriate advice based on your situation.
Sunday Skincare Day is one of the ways I keep my sanity in these crazy times. Jumino is an all-natural, Black-owned skincare brand carefully handcrafted by parents who could not find the proper care solutions to address their family skin problems. All Jumino products are made of organic and high-quality ingredients, meticulously chosen to give your skin the smooth results and the glow it deserves.